Hello students. Yes, in the previous class we have completed the discussion of discovery of subatomic particles. These are neutrons, protons and electrons. Who discovered electrons? Scientist J.J. Thomson. Who discovered neutrons? Scientist Chadwick. Who discovered protons? Scientist Goldstein. And the respective charges and masses you should know. Okay. Next we'll move on to one more discussion, that is atomic models. In the previous video I have told when they have discovered the subatomic particles, now the question arises. How those subatomic particles are distributed all over the atom. Different scientists have conducted various experiments and they have proposed their different models. But out of those all models, this is the first succeeded model known as J.J. Thomson's atomic model. It's known as J.J. Thomson's atomic model. Okay. Then how he explained? He told that we can compare the structure of the atom is exactly like the watermelon. What is the shape of the watermelon? It is spherical. Yes, he said that the atom possesses a spherical shape. Atom possesses the spherical shape with a radius of 10 raised to minus 10 meter. What is the radius of the sphere? 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Okay, this is one of the important assumption of J.J. Thomson. Okay, atom possesses a spherical shape, or atom is with a spherical shape. Okay, see, like this the watermelon will be with a spherical shape, and here in all it is filled with red color it will be, isn't it? What is that? It is the fruit what we eat, isn't it? That will be distributed in the inside the watermelon, and here we can see these all are what? Seeds of the watermelon. The seeds of the electrons are embedded into the atom like a seeds of the watermelon. Embedded andre no hooth hogabu electrons atom alli olagade hooth hogabu like a seeds of the watermelon. So these are electrons, okay, and this is what I have shown is what? Positive charge. He said that the positive charge is distributed all over the atom. Okay, the positive charge is distributed all over the atom where the electrons are embedded into it. Okay, see, he compared his model to the plum pudding, resin pudding or watermelon. Any of the puddings in the bakery products, bakery what we get, no? Pudding. Like something is filled inside, isn't it? Okay, and this one you can remember easily. And this model is known as the plum pudding model or resin pudding model. Okay, or we can compare this model to the watermelon. Got it? Okay. And what is one of the important assumption of J.J. Thomson? Mass of the atom is assumed to be distributed all over the atom. This is what I have shown, no? This is mass of the atom is distributed all over the atom. That is positive charge. Mass is nothing but what? Positive charge of the atom is distributed all over the atom. And what happened? Electrons are embedded into the atom. Electrons are embedded in the atom. This is regarding the J.J. Thomson model. What do you do? Atomic models. First one, J.J. Thomson's atomic model, and draw this diagram. Okay. Inside and all you fill this with a pencil, and this I have shown the electrons. So these electrons you can show with a pen. Okay. Hope this is very easy and clear. He compared his model to the watermelon. He told that the atom is spherical in shape with a radius of 10 raised to minus 10 meter, where mass of the atom is distributed all over the atom and the negatively charged electrons are embedded in the atom. These many points you should remember. Okay. You write down this. Yes. After the discussion of the scientist J.J. Thomson's model, the second atomic model is Rutherford's atomic model. Okay, and this is important. Rutherford atomic model. To study what he proposed regarding the model of the atom, before to study the model of the atom proposed by Rutherford, we have to study one experiment conducted by the scientist Rutherford. Okay, what is the name of the experiment? Write down. Alpha ray scattering experiment. What experiment he performed? Alpha ray scattering experiment. Okay. Yes. After writing this, you take this diagram. Okay. Inside you can fill it with a pencil. Okay. And this also with the pencil. Okay. Here also you can fill it with a pencil. This one. You can completely fill like this. Okay. Like this with a pencil. You completely fill it. Okay. Yes, and after that, these rays you can show with a pen to distinguish it. Okay, see here, first I will show you the experimental setup. Okay, this is the alpha ray source. It is nothing but it is a wooden box. Okay, in which the alpha ray source is kept. It is a wooden box containing alpha ray source. It is a radioactive alpha ray source. Okay. Yes, it will be emitting the alpha rays continuously, and this is what the direction of the alpha rays. Yes, alpha rays are coming. Okay, to bring them in a single direction, we have used the slit. It may be like a cardboard which is having the small hole. Okay, slit. When the alpha rays coming from the slit, alpha rays passed through the slit, they'll come out, and here we have kept what? Gold foil. Very thin, like 100 nanometer thickness. Okay, the thickness of that gold foil is 100 nanometer. Okay, that much very thin gold foil. Okay, we have kept here in this experiment, and here it is surrounded by the photographic plate. Okay, and which is inside coated with a fluorescent material, example zinc sulfide, like how we have taken in case of cathode ray discharge tube experiment, like that. Okay, so see what happened when we pass the alpha rays through this. What happened? They come and hit. Okay, they come and hit to the thin gold foil. Then what are the observations made by the scientist? Okay, yes, after writing this diagram, you directly write observations. Means what he observed from this experiment when he passed. Okay, what are the observations you see here, students? 3 observations he did. You can see here, isn't it? See, what happened? Most of the alpha rays, it is not a single alpha ray, it is a bundle of rays. Okay, most of the alpha rays passed the gold foil undeflected. Okay, they have not changed their direction. As they hit and they passed through the gold foil undeflected. Okay, what is the first observation? Most of the alpha rays passed undeflected through the gold foil. How we got to know? However, this film is coated with the fluorescent material, and it will get illuminated. We will get to know that most of the alpha rays passed undeflected. Okay, and second observation is here. Yes. Few rays have deflected to very small angle. Okay, a few rays have deflected to very small angle. And the third observation, very few rays, say around 1 in 20,000. 1 in 20,000 rays have deflected to large angle, like almost 180 degree. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ವಾಪಸ್ ಅದೇ ಡಿರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಅವು ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದವು. ಎಷ್ಟು? 1 ಅಥವಾ 2, ಅರೌಂಡ್ 20,000 ರೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಸ್, ಗಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? Okay, this experiment is easy. What are the observations? You just take down the diagram and then I'll list out the observations. What are the observations? Most of the alpha rays went undeflected. So few have deflected to small angle and very few have deflected to very small angle around 180 degree. See, what are the observations we have discussed? I listed up here. Most of the alpha rays have penetrated through a gold foil undeflected. Most of the alpha rays have penetrated, have passed without any deflection. Okay. A few alpha particles have deflected to small angle. Yes, here I have used rays, particles. Any one you can use. Okay. Rays or particles. Out of both, any one you can use. Okay. Yes. Second one, a few alpha particles have deflected to very small angle. The last one, very few. How many? Say 1 in a 20,000 ray particles have deflected to very large angle. Almost like a 180 degree they have came back. Isn't it? These are the observations made by the scientist Rutherford. But now important is, out of these observations, what he extracted. What he assumed. Okay, he conducted alpha ray scattering experiment and he observed this. Okay, if he left here, it's of no use. Based on these observations, he gave some assumptions or some postulates of his own idea regarding the structure of the atom. So here I have told gold foil. The metal foil is a very thin metal foil. Metal foil means what? It contains the atoms. Okay, you can imagine atom arrangement is there. Okay, it is the metal foil means, okay, it has arranged with the atoms, isn't it? Yes. Now, when alpha rays started hitting this, what happened? Most of the alpha rays passed undeflected. Penetrated undeflected. With this observation, he told that most of the space in the atom is empty. See, suppose if you are moving in a dark room, if no one is there, we can move without any disturbance, isn't it? If someone is standing, there is a chance of going and hitting to them, isn't it? So, as the most of the rays are passing with this, he told that, okay, if the rays are passing through this atom, then most of the space in the atom is empty. That we will write in the results of the experiment. Okay, most of the space in the atom is empty. Okay, next one. A few alpha particles have deflected to small angle. When we are moving in a dark room where we cannot see anything, if something is hit to us, we will come to know that something is there in the dark room. But it is not bigger in size because only once or twice I hit to that. Isn't it? That he said that when the few alpha particles have deflected to small angle, he told that there is something in the atom which is very small in size but heavy in mass. There is something densely concentrated at the center of the atom which is small in size but heavier in the mass. And he called those mass as nucleus. Who discovered nucleus? Scientist Rutherford. The mass of the nucleus is densely concentrated at the center of the atom. Got it? Okay, next one. Very few, say 1 in 20,000 particles have deflected to very large angle. Okay? They hit and came back. They hit. To what they hit? To the positive charge was there in the middle of the atom, not to that, because alpha particles are also positively charged and nucleus is also positively charged. Okay, when they are coming back, we know that like charges repel each other. Say, when the rays are coming back, he said that, okay, then that center, that mass is there, no, that must be positively charged because alpha rays are coming back. Got it? So, what is the third result from this observation? What he observed? The nucleus is positively charged. Got it? This all comes under the results of the Rutherford model. And he compared that his model to the solar system. Okay, how the planets are revolving continuously around the sun with a high speed. In the same way, electrons, the mass of the nuclear atom is concentrated at the center of the atom and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus with a high speed, like in the solar system, he said. Got it? Okay. And who discovered the nucleus means what he'll say? Rutherford. He also told that the electrons and nucleus are held together by the electrostatic force of attraction. The electrons and nucleus are held together by the electrostatic force of attraction. You got it? Yes, students, hope you understood the Rutherford model. Explain alpha ray scattering experiment. If the question is asked, you have to draw the diagram and should write these 3 observations. Then directly you have to write as a results. What you do is now write these observations and write as a results. Okay. Instead, however, we have discussed the results of the experiment. Okay. To write it in your notes, I'll write it in the paper and take a photo and send you in the WhatsApp group. That you can copy it down in your notes. Got it? Okay, this completes the discussion of atomic models. The J.J. Thomson's atomic model and Rutherford model of the atom. Got it? Okay. Thank you.